Are you afraid of the dark? What about when you're alone at night and have to wait for the bus? Waiting at the bus stop can be very scary. Some of them are in places where no one seems to ever pass by. And then there are those creepy old buses that make you wonder if they'll get up and go at all. But we want to tell you some true horror stories about bus stops. So stay tuned. Some of these stories come from Reddit, so let's jump right in. The last bus. It was late at night and he needed to take the last bus home. He got on and fell asleep. When he woke up, no one was on the bus. Startled, he turned to see the driver staring at him. "Why don't you wake up?" "I did." "What do you mean?" "I was asleep." The driver just kept staring. "Get off the bus." He didn't know what the bus driver meant, but he opened the door and started to get off when the bus started moving again. And that's when he saw that the door wasn't opening because it was going backwards. He screamed and tried to open the door again, but now it was locked. He banged on the glass until the bus stopped. Looking back, he noticed that it had been moving towards a forest. And when he finally opened the door and got out, he could hear the bus driver laughing maniacally behind him. Never got on that bus again. The ghost bus. Someone wrote on Reddit about their experience with a ghost bus. They said they were taking the same bus every day and always sat in the same seat. One day they were late and had to run to catch the bus. They boarded and took a seat near the back, which was empty. As soon as they sat down, though, they felt someone sitting next to them. They turned to look and saw an old lady who looked like she was about 80 years old. She was wearing a black dress and her face was pale and expressionless. They didn't say anything because they were shocked and scared. Then the woman stood up and walked to the front of the bus. That's when the person realized something was wrong. No one else seemed to notice the woman or react to her in any way. The person decided to get off the bus at the next stop and never took that bus again. However, the ghost lady still appears from time to time and passengers report to seeing her sitting alone on the bus, never getting off. Bloody bus stop. Many people have shared similar stories about creepy bus stops, but this one stands out. A person wrote about how they used to take the bus home from school. One day, while waiting at the bus stop, they noticed a man standing behind them. The person said that even though they could feel his presence, they couldn't see his face because he was too tall. Soon after, the bus arrived, and the person got on without thinking much of the situation. That night, they couldn't sleep and kept replaying the events in their head. They couldn't help but think that the man at the bus stop must have been following them. They knew something was wrong, but couldn't explain it. The next day, they took the same route home from school. To their surprise, they found a bloodied meat cleaver at the bus stop. They were shaken by the discovery, knowing that they had narrowly escaped danger. Bus window. A Reddit user told a terrifying tale of riding the bus home from a night shift. They were exhausted and fell asleep during the journey. When they woke up, they noticed a man in a business suit sitting next to them. What freaked them out was that he had a pair of scissors in his hand and was staring directly at them. Before they could react, the man stood up and went to the bathroom in the back of the bus, still shaky. They continued their journey. When the bus made a sharp turn, the person lost their balance and accidentally knocked over a cup of spilled coffee on themselves. Discomfort. They went to the bathroom to clean up. To their shock, the door was locked from the inside. As they waited for the bathroom door to unlock, they began to panic, fearing that the man had trapped them in there. When the door finally opened, they rushed out and ran to the nearest exit. They never looked back and vowed to never ride the bus alone again. Uninvited passenger. In another Reddit post, a user described their horrifying experience of finding an unwanted passenger in their car. One night, while driving home, they noticed a hitchhiker at a bus stop. Despite feeling uneasy, they stopped to pick up the stranger. However, they quickly regretted their decision. The hitchhiker got into the car and refused to wear a seatbelt, even after being asked several times. As the driver drove, they tried to engage in conversation, but the hitchhiker only responded with one-word answers. After dropping off their original passenger, the driver decided to take a different route to shake off the unsettling feeling. They drove through quiet neighborhoods, hoping to reach their destination quickly. However, the hitchhiker kept asking to be let off at random spots in unfamiliar areas. The driver eventually reached their breaking point when the hitchhiker requested to be dropped off in the middle of a deserted highway. The driver refused and informed the hitchhiker that they would be taken to the nearest gas station. Upon reaching the gas station, the hitchhiker got out of the car and disappeared into the darkness. The driver never saw them again. Ghost bus stop. In a chilling Reddit post, a user recounted their encounter with a ghost bus stop. While studying abroad in England, they frequently took the same bus route. One day they noticed an old wooden bus stop sign hanging off its hinges, barely clinging to the post. Despite the dilapidated condition of the sign, the person continued to use that bus stop every day. Then one day they noticed that the bus stop had a ghostly presence. The spirit appeared as an emaciated old man who stood silently at the bus stop. Although the person couldn't interact with the man, they felt a strong sense of sadness coming from him. Over time, the person learned that the ghost was the former owner of the house across from the bus stop, which had been demolished. The ghost was said to be searching for his cat, which had also died when the house burned down. The person felt compassion for the ghost and eventually befriended him, offering kind words and ensuring that he wasn't alone. Midnight bus. Imagine this. You're stranded at a bus stop in the dead of night. The wind is howling and the rain is pouring. You pull your jacket tighter around you and try to stay positive. Just as you start to feel like you might actually make it, a bus rumbles to a halt in front of you. Relief washes over you, and you step onto the bus. However, your relief is short-lived. You're the only passenger on board, and the driver keeps glancing at you in the rearview mirror. Then he makes a sudden U-turn and heads in the opposite direction. You try to calm yourself down, reasoning that the driver probably just made a mistake. But as he continues to drive erratically, your fear starts to grow. Suddenly, he slams on the brakes and turns around to face you. His eyes are wide with terror and he screams, "Get off my bus!" You jump off the bus and run away as fast as you can. You never look back to see what was chasing you. We hope you enjoyed these creepy stories about buses. If you want to share your own experiences, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get notifications on our latest videos. Thanks for watching.